Hi there, Zamir for NerdTube. These are my thoughts and spoilers of Mayor of Kingstown, Season 3, Episode 3, Barbarians at the Gate. This was a full-on Mike McCluskey episode. He was involved in everything today. But we begin this episode with a terrible scene of Tatiana's dead body in a dumpster, along with her baby as well. Now, the baby's not dead. The baby was crying, and a homeless man found the baby, but before you know it, we already cut to another scene where the police are investigating that whole crime scene and everything. So the homeless man has obviously got in touch with the cops. Mike finds out about this very quickly, knows that Tatiana is involved with the Russians, knows that Konstantin is the new guy on the scene, and he confronts him, makes his presence known, lets Konstantin know who the fuck he is, takes out a few of his guys before he confronts Konstantin. He's really pissed off with him. He has another confrontation with Konstantin later on and makes Konstantin understand that you need me. I am the middleman here. I am the mayor of Kingstown. You can't afford to kill me. I'm your liaison with all the other factions in this area. You don't want me dead. It puts Konstantin in a predicament, but at the same time, you know Mike wants Konstantin quite badly. He wants to take him down for what he did. There are some terrible people in this world who do a lot of bad things, but as far as Mike is concerned, you cross certain lines, and one of them is killing a woman and leaving her baby to rot in a fucking dustbin. So I look forward to seeing where we go further with Konstantin and Mike McCluskey in future episodes, but I'm sure this sort of element they're having right now, this feud, there's more to come from it, and they're going to be testing each other for sure. We're in the Kingstown prison for one of our other moments, and Mike is involved with this as well, because I believe when it comes to Bunny's smugglers who are swallowing these drugs in balloons and taking them into the prison, I believe it might be the white supremacists, the white organizations, the Aryan Brotherhood, whoever the fuck they are really, who might be splicing and spicing these drugs to kill off Bunny's smugglers. Not 100% sure yet, but one of Bunny's informants within the prison, one of his guys working inside the prison, is trying to do a deal with the Colombians. But he also almost gets killed by the white supremacist gang as well. We find out that this gang has been taken over by a guy called Callahan, and Callahan, I believe, was the guy who informed his troops to kill off their old leader in last week's episode, the guy we saw get bagged in front of his daughter. Yeah, that was crazy. Once again, Mike knows about Callahan, but at the same time, he only found out about Callahan through Bunny, so he's not in the loop as much as he thought he would be. Had no idea that the previous white supremacist leader was dead. But then again, the previous leader was also trying to do the right thing, wanted to be a father to his daughter again when he got out. And because of those things, a new leader emerged and killed the old leader, got the old leader killed. So we're going to see where this all ends up, because regarding certain gangs and what they want and what they need, sometimes it's a bit all up in the air, because they do and don't necessarily need to make treaties with other gangs. But if you're a white supremacist gang, you're supposed to hate other people who are different to you, not just necessarily do business with them or do business with them at all. So it's a bit confusing for me to see how things are going to pan out in future episodes regarding this new guy Callahan. Is he just an anarchist? I guess we'll find out in future episodes. Sorry, this is becoming a bit cliched what I'm saying. Iris, finally she's been found. I knew she was going to eventually be found, but she has been found. She kept her mouth shut the whole time. Was happy that Mike found her. Mike's brother Carl also helped in finding her as well. But in order to be released from custody, she needs to give up her prints, her fingerprints. But she doesn't want to do that. She won't fucking do that. Now, Ian, the policeman who is very close to the McCluskeys, told Iris, listen, this is going to go to court if we don't take your print. So look, let's just take your print. I promise nobody will find out or get rid of them, yada yada. And I think she gave her prints. I'm not 100% sure, but she doesn't want Mike finding out anything regarding her past. So yeah, she gave up her prints. But before her scene with Ian concluded, Ian asked her about Tatiana, if you know anything about her. She said she never really got along with Tatiana, but I don't think obviously she wanted her killed. Obviously, I don't think she even knows that she's been killed. But she did see the picture of Constantine as well and said, yeah, that's a bad guy. So, yeah, she has an association with Constantine. I think maybe Constantine might owe her one or something along those lines from whatever Mike was also getting out of Iris after Mike was taking Iris home. So once again, we'll see what happens in future episodes regarding all of that. I'm sure it's all going to, all come crashing together at some point. Iris is a bit of a wild card. You just don't know where her loyalties lie. I do believe, even though the McCluskeys are taking really good care of her, if Milo snapped her fucking fingers, and we do know Milo's still alive, well, I believe he is after what happened at the end of season 2. If Milo snapped his fingers, she'll go running back to him. At the same time, Constantine and Milo, they don't like each other. It's not like Constantine was a friend of Milo's. So yeah, it's all very interesting right now where things are going. There's some good scenes as well, like the scene where one of Constantine's men tried to take out Mike, but he failed and Mike stabbed him. Nice little action scene. And also just the scenes of Mike just taking care of business as well. And another thing, like maybe this went over my head, but apparently Mike is an ex-con. Now Kareem and Mike, Kareem now being the warden of the prison of Kingstown, doesn't necessarily want to do business with Mike, but Mike does want to do business with him. And whilst they were communicating, Kareem just basically said to him, listen, if people find out you're an ex-con, shit's gonna hit the fan. And if that was something we were all supposed to know, then great. It went over my head, but this was a reminder for us. So I guess maybe at some point, maybe one day, we'll get around that Mike is an ex-con, and then maybe people like Constantine might use that against him to get rid of his mayor status and come down on him. Who knows? Once again, everything's all up in the air. A good episode. Only 40 minutes long. Some nice moments, nice scenes, great connectivity. Just seeing Mike running from place to place to place, having to deal with so many fucking issues is fantastic. This is what I love about this show. It's gritty as well, good drama, good scenes, good moments, good characters. Like the cops in this show, they're not clean, but they're not like corrupted in the way that they are working for bad people. They are a gang in their own right, and they have each other's backs. And the corruption is from that, like they are willing to turn a blind eye to, like some of the bad things that happen within their own coven. They're willing to give that a pass. Like Ian obviously tried to help out Iris because Iris is associated with Carl and Mike, and willing to overlook things just to get her out of jail. And that's the level of corruption it is. They are not necessarily working with the bad guys here. They have no love for any of these organizations or any of these gangs. They don't like the Russians. They don't like the Crips. They don't like the white supremacist organizations. So they're their own gang in that sense. And then obviously we have the mayor, who has to deal with all of these gangs in the most neutral way possible, because he has an association with them all. Not too much of Bunny today, but he did obviously inform Mike about this new guy Callahan, so that was really his part. A good episode overall. I'll give it an 8 out of 10. I just love this show. It's so engaging, so enjoyable, and it doesn't pull its punches either. And like I said, that opening scene with the baby in the dumpster, Jesus Christ. They want you to make sure that this guy Constantine, they want you to know this guy Constantine is a terrible human being. Not a regular bad guy, but a terrible guy. Like a guy with no conscience whatsoever, willing to get rid of a baby and keep it alive, by the way, by throwing it in the dumpster. Like, I'm not saying this was the right thing, but the fact that he didn't have the heart to execute it and just let it die of starvation in the dumpster just kind of shows you what sort of person he is. He's a terrible person. Anyway, let me know what you think of this show, episode 3. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe to NerdTube. We're on TikTok, YouTube, and various other social media platforms. We are the greatest social media channel you never heard of. And remember, the name is NerdTube. And don't you forget it. Bye-bye.